More about the Prince's Trust. We're going to hear from a very special person now who's been very successful on the Trust's Enterprise programme and has been shortlisted for Best Individual for the Eastern Daily Press, otherwise known as EDP in local circles, and that's for their People Choice Awards as part of the Norfolk Arts Awards 2017.
She's the founder of the Prince's Trust supported enterprise Books Talk Back, which are literary events which connect emerging and established authors.
And these events have gained support from the British Library. Since setting up Books Talk Back, she's gone on to write 2 children's books. And ladies and gentlemen, she's here today. So please put your hands together for Isabelle King. Isabelle, lovely to have you here. Welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It's all yours.
Thank you. I'm absolutely delighted to be speaking at this event. When I started the Prince's Trust Enterprise programme, I could never have imagined how far it would take me and that I would have the opportunity to speak at an event such as this. Through the Prince's Trust, I set up a literary enterprise called Books Talk Back, and I would love to share some of that journey with you and hopefully illuminate some of the fantastic work that the Prince's Trust does to make a difference in young people's lives. I believe passionately that encouraging and inspiring children and young people to develop a love of literature is one of the best steps we can take in developing a bright and positive future. This is a value that I've always been determined to take forward with me in my career. When I started Books Talk Back, I was working with children as an actress, a career which saw me in a variety of interesting guises, none of them glamorous. A dancing house with chicken's feet, a gothic fairy, and a tap dancing tree, to name a few. Between jobs, I worked as a waitress at a pub in West London, and I was very interested in writing for children. But the more I investigated writing, the more I discovered that many authors had attended creative writing courses or undertaken MAs at prestigious universities. And I couldn't afford to take a course. And I really just wanted to crack on and get on with things. So I decided to create a one-off non-profit event which would provide information about writing and the publishing industry and be accessible to anyone with an interest, myself included. A wonderful author called Naomi Wood agreed to be guest speaker, and I hosted my first Books Talk Back event in the pub where I was waitressing. A lot of people said they'd never been to an event like that before, and one attendee said that attending a Books Talk Back event was like sitting down with a bunch of close, literary-loving friends I didn't even know I had. So following this, Naomi Wood invited me to her book launch for a book that she'd written called Mrs. Hemingway. This was at the British Library. And here I got chatting to staff, and they were very interested in Books Talk Back and asked me if I'd like to host an event at the British Library. And I said yes, funnily enough. This was very exciting for me, and I really wanted to take my idea further. I believe I had some good instincts, and my heart was really in what I was doing. Now that's great, but without applying some basic business acumen, that wasn't going to get me very far. I didn't know anything about running a business. At the time, I'd moved back to Norwich, which is where I was born and bred, and a friend told me about the Prince's Trust. Having enrolled on the Enterprise programme, I knew it was one of the best decisions I could ever have made. Through the Enterprise programme, I undertook a free 4-day course learning all the fundamentals of business, and the Prince's Trust have also provided me with a business mentor for the past 2 years, and this has been just so fantastically valuable. It's just having someone there someone to talk to bounce ideas off, to give me confidence and just a sense that I'm not on my own out there. So since the Prince's Trust programme, I've continued to run non-profit community events through Books Talk Back because accessibility is very important to me. This has included 4 events at the British Library, featuring authors such as Tracy Chevalier, Alison MacLeod and Hannah Collar, as well as events in Norwich and in Bristol. And I'm very happy to say that many of the attendees at my events have gone on to have books published, myself included, as I do believe that when you support and help other people, you support and help yourself. So following the publication of my first children's book, the Prince's Trust gave me the confidence to launch my first commercial venture, and this was to run creative writing workshops in schools, in primary schools, through the Norfolk and Norwich Festival. And I'm pleased to say the workshops received the most school bookings that the festival have ever seen. I'm currently the writer-in-residence at Norfolk and Norwich Millennium Library for the duration of their Quentin Blake Roald Dahl exhibition. And this not only gives me the perfect excuse to use words like snoscumbers and whiz-popping in public speeches, but it also helps me and gives me an opportunity to help young people develop that love of literature, which will open doors for them and hopefully encourage them to get writing their own stories as well. So thanks to the Prince's Trust for equipping me with the knowledge and confidence to run a business where I can incorporate my values. It's an honour to be a young ambassador for the Prince's Trust because it is a genuine joy to represent the organisation which has supported me and brought me all the way here speaking at this event. So if you'd like to find out more about my work, my website is isabelleking.net and also bookstalkback.com. Finally, I hope that if you know a young person with a business idea, you'll recommend the Prince's Trust Enterprise Programme. Enrolling on the programme is just the first step, and after that, there's no telling where it will take you. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you.
Thank you, Isabelle. Lovely. Thank you. Yeah.